Hello, Parsons Collab Design for Literacy students. This is Marcos, and this is our week 5 to week 6 briefing video. I'm going to make this a quick one. We've got one more week to go before we have our final review on our baby board books. And as you can see here on our schedule, we're at part 5. It's called Design Completion. Basically, the goal here is for you to get all your spreads and cover and back and everything finalized and done and ready to present as a final presentation for Thursday's class. And then with that review, there will come some feedback, and that feedback will be able to be applied as you then prepare your final files, which will be due on week 6. So after next week's class, you need to turn in, you'll present your final design. You may get some feedback, you may do some adjusting, some of you may not be quite finished. That's okay, but I don't want to encourage that. Then you'll have the next week to put together and package your final files, but also we'll be starting our next project as well. So that's something to consider in the timing. All right, so basically what I want you to do now, we had our one-on-one meetings on Thursday and got great progress from everybody, and hopefully you got good feedback, and you've got a plan now. You know what you're doing. You're finalizing things. You're refining. You're making small adjustments. You're finalizing your text. There might be time for new things to pop up, but be careful. Don't derail your completion. But be open to making this as great as possible, because this is going to be a book that we're going to print and you're going to have forever. So it's important to make this as great as you can. So complete the design of all the pages you're doing. Remember, there's 7 spreads and 1 spread that has the cover and the back and the spine on it. So it's 8 spreads total, including the cover and back. So finalize your illustrations, go through and get your text down perfectly. Read it out loud, like see if it's right, see if you need to make some edits, maybe have someone else read it with you or have them read it. Get feedback on that so you have the text scaled down to being as edited and as revised as well as possible. And then if possible, I'd like everyone to share your layouts before we have class, so that if there's anything that I can add to it before we present in class, then I'll have a chance to give some quick feedback. So I encourage everybody to send me a PDF or let me know that it's up on the Google Drive, and I'll go look at it and give you feedback. And I'm also open to meeting with anybody on Zoom as needed before class next week, as I want that to be a good presentation. I'm working on getting Demi to come to class and join us as a reviewer. She was part of our, I think, week 2 or week 3 reviews, and now it'd be kind of great to have her there to see what you guys have finalized with your concepts that you presented to her, and have her give any last minute feedback as well, or just to give you guys lots of good praise. So I need everyone to put together a full presentation for that class, which is going to include making a deck that has everything from week 1 till now. And I'll go through that here on this presentation so you can see all the parts that are needed. And here it is. So you need a cover page, an overview page on Dirt, a summary page of the assignment, 3 case studies of the baby board books, and the design inspiration pages, and a design concept statement. That's basically the week 1 assignment. So that you should have that already, obviously. That's in there. And then your storyboard page, that was the week 2 assignment. If your design has changed and maybe you want to update that, you can, or you can leave it the way it was and just say this is how you started. But I want you to present that, and then, or have that in your presentation. Maybe you don't have to necessarily present it. And then I want you to put together an overview of how your preliminary design work progress went, and that might be different than what you actually turned in, because maybe there's too many things to show. So I recommend having some kind of a spread or 2, even if they're smaller, maybe just kind of show the behind the scenes of how your design developed and the kind of options you had, and where things were in the beginning stages and how you developed it further. I think that would make an interesting story for the presentation that can show your work in progress and can show how you evolved from the initial concept to what you have now, or show some options and how you decided to go a different way and what you left behind. And then the main part is to feature your final cover, and then feature each spread, nice and big. Go through that, and then in the back and spine, and have that then end with a page that has your cover, spreads, and back all on one page, as sort of the the full showcase of your work. And then from there, after that, you know what's at the end, right? The thank you page. I always have that thank you page at the end. Super important. So here's an example. You have a cover page. You've got the dirt overview. You've got the assignment overview. You've got your initial research on your inspiration. And when you present this, you might want to go through here and quickly just say the kind of things that connected with what you liked in order to remind us, and also to make you look smart, because you then will say that you were inspired by the way they use these cards to be like humans and cards mixed together, and that it gave you an idea, or whatever it would be. It might be cool to show how you used inspiration to inform your final project. Your design inspiration, your illustration, your type of inspiration, show that. Your concept written out, and you should probably make sure this is up to date to what you finished with. And then your storyboard that shows your concept initially and how you planned it. And then this is an example of the preliminary design process, and it's showing the kind of in progress development of this book. And then it goes into the final review of the book. And this is showing the cover, spine, and back as one. You may want to do this, but also maybe it'd be cool to show just the cover crop, and the back cropped at the end, just to show it in a more of a real context. And then go through and just showcase each of your spreads, and make sure you've got this design nicely. And if you have like a white background, make sure you don't just have it be floating on the white background here. Put a thin gray line, or put your background to be a color. Just be sure you don't make that look weird if you have white on white. Yeah, so just show each of your spreads. And then at the end, put an overview of everything as a final book. And then there's a thank you page. So that's what you should be working on. This is a overview of what everything should be on your deck, and then create that deck and post that deck to the Google Drive. I've got all this in the Canvas link for this week's assignment, and there's the Google Drive. And make sure you're putting your assignments in here. Some of you have not been doing that, and I heard some noises, and it was the A making machine starting to like overheat and starting to like jam up. So I don't know whose A is not coming out of the machine, but you better make sure you've got all your assignments in here, because it's going to begin to affect your grade, and that A making machine may overheat and not put out all A's for everybody, which is our goal, of course. So make sure you do that. And then there's one more left, which will be the package design files for next week. Okay, so that's it. Make sure you spend the time you need now. This is the last run. This is the sprint to the finish line. I know you're busy. I know it's a very hectic time in the middle of the semester, but this is your design. This is the product you're making at Parsons School of Design in 2024 when you're a young and beautiful designer. And I want you to have a result that you're going to be proud of, that's going to show who you are, and that may also end up in the hands of kids if we can get things rolling better and get our products out there and launch our baby board books. You might select your book, so make sure you make yours as great as possible. And that's it. So if anybody needs to talk to me, email me, Slack me, or request a Zoom, and I'll see you guys in class. Oh, I'm working on getting a new classroom. They still haven't replied to me, so I reached out to Kelly Waters, and hopefully she'll help me to get a new classroom, and we can have a nice classroom for our final reviews on Thursday. I will post or email everybody once I learn about that, or I'll say, sorry, we're in the same classroom if nothing happens, but I'll try to avoid that. And I'll see all of you on Thursday. Good luck.